You now tuned in to the Gumptown Podcast. I'm your boy Doug B. We ain't got nothing to talk about, but we got something to talk about. Let's go. Good people. Welcome back to the Gumptown Podcast, episode 61. I'm your boy Doug B. If you tuned in to this podcast, thank you for your time and your attention. I really appreciate you giving this podcast a shot. Today's guest, she is the founder and owner of the BeYOUtiful boutiques. I'm looking forward to this conversation, and I'm sure you all will be inspired by her story. Let's chop it up with Keiauna White. Keiauna, how's it going?
Everything's going well, Doug. How about with you?
Glad to hear that. All is well on my end, too. First things first, thank you for taking time out of your schedule to chop it up with me a few minutes. I really appreciate it.
Wow, thanks for inviting me. I'm excited.
Yes, ma'am. Of course, we're here to talk about the BeYOUtiful boutiques. But before we go there, let's get to know the woman behind the brand. What's your story?
Wow, what's my story? What's my story and not the brand story? That was a new one. So simply put, let's see, born and raised Montgomery, Alabama. Graduated from Jeff Davis. I'm a mother of 3 wonderful young adults, a grandmother of 2, and a lover of Jesus, fashion, and fun.
Nice. Hey, simply put, you got your story down packed. Love to hear it. Yes, ma'am. So let's talk about the BeYOUtiful boutique. That name is very unique and very intriguing. What inspired the name?
The inspiration for the name actually came through a lesson I was giving one of my children, or the idea of the concept. Now, the name I can't take credit for. It's just a play on the spelling of beautiful. However, I remember talking to one of my sons, my middle child, actually, and he's always been fashion forward and a trendsetter and all the things. And being that also put him right in the spotlight for bullying and being picked on. And he was the little brother and all the things, even within the household. So the conversation was kind of like, listen, I'm all for creativity. That is me. Do what you want to do. If you want to wear tight jeans, skinny jeans, that's you. If you want to dye your hair, that's you. I'm with it, obviously. People know that my hair is usually blue or green or purple. But I had to explain to him in that moment, like, with creativity comes the responsibility of confidence. Like, it's okay to say you're creative in whatever you're doing, whether it's your profession or your dress or your style. But there is a level of confidence that's required with that, because if you listen to the naysayers, or you're not confident in what it is that you believe in and in thinking outside of the box and moving outside of the box, then they're going to place you right back in their box. And so the BeYOUtiful boutiques came from that idea, that name, that concept. It's like, yeah, be you. And then our tagline is be creative, be confident, be beautiful. Because, I mean, yeah, creativity and the lack of confidence are going to lead to mainstream.
I love it. Don't let people put you in the box that they think you belong in. Be you. Nah, that's a dope. So what products and services do you offer over there?
Products and services. So we have been women's retail for so long. We actually cater to men now as well. And so just what I say is we offer, outside of physical products, clothing, shoes, accessories, jewelry, we offer community, we offer empowerment, we offer family, we offer fun, we offer all the things at the BeYOUtiful boutiques.
Nice. That's amazing. And the what got you intrigued? What got you into this fashion space?
Well, I have an aunt who has always been known for her dress and her creativity. She still is. And when I would spend summers with her. We would visit all these shops, consignment shops, boutiques, all the things except for big box stores. And so I love that. And I always had the desire to have that or bring that or be a part of that in Montgomery or wherever I was. And so I also knew I didn't really want to work for anyone else. And that led me to my first brick and mortar, which was actually a consignment shop in the Mulberry shopping district.
Wow, what a powerful story! Just knowing you always wanted to be your own boss, and nothing wrong with that. Like we all have our purpose and things that we believe in and believe we put on this earth for. And I appreciate that. So, were you ever in the 9 to 5 space, or were you have you always been an entrepreneur?
No, I have been in the 9 to 5 space. Absolutely, I have. And let me just say this now, as creatives and entrepreneurs, and 2022, that's the thing now, being an entrepreneur, doing your own thing, following your gifts, following your drives. Well, a little bit earlier than that, it wasn't really that. It's like, oh, okay, you don't want to work for anyone and you must have a problem listening, or you don't like to get up early, so you must be lazy. And all of these misconceptions were gone. Like even my grandparents, they were just kind of like, oh, Key doesn't want to work. But it wasn't that Key didn't want to work. It's that Key knew the humdrum of the job she was working were serving her no purpose. They were not fueling her creativity, and they were literally driving her crazy. So yes, I have worked 9 to 5, and I'll tell anyone, when you get to the point and you're in between what you feel you were born to do and what you're currently doing, and you're going to work and you're actually feeling sick at the stomach, or just coming up with all kind of reasons why you should not go, or why you can't go, or why you hate it there, that's probably the push inside of you saying, okay, it's time for you to do a bit more or a bit something else.
That's powerful and that's so true. And that's common. Our grandparents and our parents, they want us to stay in that old way of thinking. Go get you a good job, work 30
Right,
years and retire. And I still work a
right.
9 to 5 for now. And so I'm still in that space, but I commend you for having that courage to even just be able to identify, having that self-awareness. Hey, I'm sick to my stomach going to this place. Why would I keep going every day, 5 days a week for 30 years, you know?
Right. It's not going to work.
Yes, ma'am. So whenever I have entrepreneurs on the platform like yourself, I like to cover three things: the aha moment, action, and audacity. Let's start with your aha moment. Take me back to the moment when you first had the idea to take your love for fashion and turn it into a business.
Oh, wow. The aha moment. The aha moment didn't even come after taking fashion to business. Fashion was already my business, or had been a trial business for me. There are two aha moments that stand out to me. One is after opening that brick and mortar in 2013, and realizing that either I had to pay someone to be there or I had to spend all of my time there, although my life was lifing and my kids had places to be. The aha moment at that point was, okay, we're going mobile. The first fashion truck had just started in LA. So I immediately started looking for buses, trucks, all the things. Um, eBay, bulletin boards, riding down country roads, looking in people's backyards. That was the aha moment. So the aha moment was, if the business is not coming to me, I'm coming to it. Fast forward, and there's quite a beautiful story in between, but fast forward to just about 2020, is my aha moment was realizing that this is really a ministry and a gift. Like, I knew God gave me a vision and he told me to do it, but I had no idea that the relationship building, the connections, all of that was an actual ministry. So that would be my aha moment number two.
Nice. Those are both great, amazing aha moments. So in terms of the action portion, going from the brick and mortar into the mobile space, how long did it take you between that aha moment and actually taking action towards acquiring a bus in the mobile space?
So that was the end of 2013 that I began looking.
Mhm.
By June 1st, 2014, I had acquired a vehicle. It was a FedEx truck.
Mm.
Found it on an online auction in, where was it? Miami, Florida. It came from Miami, Florida. Got it here. Did the build out, and we were up and rolling June 2014.
Wow. So you already knew what you wanted to do. You didn't spend a whole bunch of time overanalyzing, overthinking. You got right to it. Love to hear
I
it.
got back to it. There were challenges now, and I'll just tell you, the night of that auction, when I sat down with my friend after looking and finding things and none of the options actually working out, I prayed the prayer and I said, okay, dear God, I know you told me to do this. Well, at least I think you told me to do this. But if you didn't tell me to do this, then I'm going to stop looking. This is going to be my last time looking for a vehicle in order to go mobile. And I'll just go work from some dumb job that I'm probably going to hate. But if that's the will that you have for my life, then okay, let's do it. And that was when I knew, okay, God did say do this, because we found the truck for half the budget that I had waiting on it and used the other half to get it here.
Wow, talking about God's plan, you was at your wits end and back up against the wall, and right when you thought you about to get back into that 9 to 5 world, here come God showing out, as God always does.
As he does. As he does.
Yes, ma'am. So that's great. You had your aha moment, you had your action. So in between those two things, I believe there's a bridge. I like to call it audacity. It takes audacity to step out there and get started in business. It takes audacity to transition from the brick and mortar space into the mobile space. Who or what gave you that courage, that audacity to continue to make those pivots that you've made in business?
I would have to say that the who would be my entire family. And I'll start with my grandparents, because for one, service has always been the backbone of our family. I've watched them do all the things. They've taken in elderly that had no family, and treated them as if they were on their own. I've seen them taking strangers and do just all kind of community work, service through the church and at home. But also that's where my faith started. My faith came from not only watching them, but the teachings that they actually taught me directly, and that they made sure I was in place to receive.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's amazing. That strong family unit, ain't nothing like it. That support, and it sound like they instilled those great values into you. That's amazing.
I'm grateful.
Yes, ma'am. So the BeYOUtiful Boutiques has done great things, and I know great things are coming down the pipeline, which leads to my next portion, vision. What are your short-term and long-term goals for the business?
Short-term goals for the business is for our online presence to be just as good or better than our in-store presence. So we see lots of growth for that. Long-term, that business will be running itself so that I can be out mentoring and sharing my story with other individuals who have dreams, need encouragement, and just want to know like the backsides of how to get things started and keep them going.
Those are some amazing short-term and long-term goals, and I have no doubt that you will make those come to fruition. Amazing.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. So as we wrap up the podcast, I want to ask the $1 million question. I started this podcast because I wanted to highlight the greatness coming out of Montgomery, whether you were born here or lived here for a significant period of your life, be it military or college. You being a hometown hero, what makes you the most proud to be from the Gump?
Wow, the most proud to be from the Gump. History. History makes me the most proud. Being born and raised here and seeing the change and the evolution in our small businesses, in our communities, that makes me the most proud. And that's why I have remained here. In 2014, when I started the fashion truck, there were no fashion trucks. Montgomery didn't even recognize food trucks. So we had no idea what mobile business was all about. And I can clearly say I've seen the change. We have seen the change in that. And I look forward to the change that's coming.
That's so powerful. And you actually, I was reading that on your website in terms of the mobile truck, and when you came into the space in 2014, how there were no food trucks in Montgomery. It's amazing that you took on the challenge of creating that avenue, because a lot of people would have packed up and went to Atlanta or LA or New York, but you stayed home, and that's dope.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. So how can people connect with you, Keiauna? What are your social media handles and website?
Social media handles are BeYOUtiful on Wheels, and that's spelled BeYoutifulOnWheels. So BeYOUtiful on Wheels. Our website is also BeYoutifulOnWheels.com. But the people can download our free app. The app name is Big BU, spelled BIGBEYOU. Download our app, join the fun, watch the live sales, and become a part of the BeYoutiful family.
Yes, ma'am. And of course, I'll put all of that information in the description of the episode. Hey, Keiauna, thanks again for this conversation. I really appreciate you.
Oh, thank you so much. And have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time as you learn more about what is going on in our absolutely wonderful city.
Yes, ma'am. Good people, that concludes another dope episode of the Gumptown Podcast. We gone, but before we leave, remember, be blessed, be safe, but most importantly, have the audacity to be you. Gone. Thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate your time and your attention. Until next time.